Hi, it's Grana. Today, you're not going to see my face because this book has so many beautiful pictures in it. I'm going to show you all the pictures, and we're going to learn all about deer by Jim Arnosky. Okay, ready? That's what deer tracks look like. So if you go to outside and you see marks like this on the ground, that's what the deer tracks look like. Look, it's a little deer. Turn the next 2 pages to see a life-size portrait of white-tailed fawns. Whoa, look how big it is. This book is written for Chuck and Amber. Have you ever wondered about deer? How big is a deer? What do deer eat? What are antlers made of? Why do deer run away from us? This book answers these and other questions. It's all about deer. Deer are beautiful and graceful animals. Their slender legs give them a delicate, almost fragile appearance. But deer are tougher than they look. They have to be strong to survive in the wild. Deer are the smallest members of the family of animals known as Cervidae, pronounced Cervidae. Cervidae means deer or deer-like in Latin. The Cervidae family includes 20 species of deer and elk living in Europe, Asia, North Africa, and the Americas. In North and Central America, there are 6 major species: white-tailed deer, mule deer, black-tailed deer, caribou, elk, and moose. White-tailed deer are named for the white hair under their tails. White-tailed deer – 3.5 feet at shoulder, woodlands and forest edges. This one is called a mule deer. 3.5 feet at shoulders, central western U.S. brushland canyons. This one is a black-tailed deer. 3.5 feet at shoulders, coastal mountains. There's his blacktail. Since the white-tailed deer is the most widespread and in every way typical of all deer, the illustrated examples throughout this book depict white-tailed deer. Caribou, 4 feet at shoulder, far northern woodland and tundra. Domesticated caribou are called reindeer. Domesticated means they can be around people. This one is called wapiti, also known as elk, 5 foot at shoulder. Wilderness, woodlands, and clearings. This is a moose. A moose is 7.5 feet at shoulders. Whoa, he's big. Northern forest, largest member of the Cervidae family. When viewed from the front or back, a deer's body is long and narrow. Their slender shape, combined with natural coloration help deer blend into their woodland surroundings. Generally, deer are reddish-brown in summer and turn grayish in winter. Deer that live in deserts are a light tawny color year-round. Partially white, and all black deer are rare, but these color variations do occur. I have never seen a black deer. I have seen a white deer. A deer's long legs are slender, muscular, and powerful. This is the top of the deer hoof. This is the bottom. The two small toes on the back of deer feet are called dew claws. That's these. The outer hoof is made of material similar to our fingernails and is kept worn down by the hoof scraping on the ground as the deer walks. The soft, spongy gray area of a deer's hoof bottom provides suction for better footing on smooth, rocky, or sloping surfaces. Deer are cloven-hoofed animals. Each hoof has two large toes. See, there's 1, 2. Deer hoofs dig into the ground for sure footing. They are also sharp enough to stomp and slash an enemy. The most common sign deer leave behind are their heart-shaped hoof prints. Tracks of a deer walking. When deer run, their toes spread apart and their dew claws may touch the ground. So that's what it would look like if they're running. A deer can swivel each of its ears around on its head to listen in 2 directions. You see that ear is going that way, and this ear is going this way. A deer's large eyes cup air to pick up sounds. Oh, wait. See, I said that wrong. A deer's large ears cup the air to pick up sounds from far away, so their ears go like this. The black skin covering a deer's nose is moist, scent-collecting skin. A deer's 3 most developed senses are hearing, smell, and sight. So, what does this mean? Most developed. That means these are their best instincts: hearing, smell, and sight. A female deer is called a doe. A male deer is called a buck. Only male deer, elk, and moose grow antlers. Both male and female caribou grow antlers. All antlers are grown and shed yearly. A deer's large eyes provide a wide field of view. With binocular vision, 3-dimensional forward, and monocular vision, 2-dimensional to the sides. Deers are virtually colorblind, but they see shapes sharply and clearly and can detect the slightest movements. That's why even if you're quiet, they're going to hear you. Horns are hollow and made of hard skin. This is a sheep horn. A deer antler is solid bone. So there's nothing inside of a sheep horn, but in a deer antler, it's all bone in there. In the spring, antlers begin as knobs and grow rapidly. Their velvet coverings is actually a network of nourishing blood vessels. In the summer, as the antlers grow, more blood is pumped up to nourish them. The deer's neck swells, so the neck gets bigger. In autumn, the velvet dries and peels. Deer help remove it by rubbing their antlers on stems of small trees. In winter, the antlers drop off. One at a time, shed antlers are eaten by rodents. Antlers are not horns. Horns are permanent. They continue growing year after year, all through an animal's life. Cattle, sheep, goats, bison, and antelope grow horns. Only the pronghorn antelope grows and sheds new horns yearly. Antlers are temporary. They begin growing in spring and drop off in winter. Just like we just learned, they start off this way, they grow in the summer, grow bigger in the autumn, and then they fall off. A close-up look at the velvety knob of a growing antler with a peek at the antler point developing inside. When a buck is 1 year old, it begins to grow its first pair of antlers, usually single-pointed spikes. So it's only a 1 year old. It's like a baby. The final stage of a deer's yearly antler growth coincides with the deer's mating season in autumn. Bucks clash antlers, fighting to see which bucks will breed with the does. Each year's antlers grow thicker and bigger than the previous pair and usually have more points. A baby deer is called a fawn. Fawns are born in spring or early summer. Twins are common. Like all mammals, the fawn's first food is their mother's milk. Deer milk is very rich and the fawns grow really fast. Since her fawns are born odor-free, a mother deer keeps her distance, except when nursing, to avoid having her own scent draw predators to them. After 3 weeks, fawns follow their mother everywhere in summer. Look for tracks of does and fawns pressed into the ground. A fawn's white spots are created by white-tipped hairs. By summer's end, the white tips have worn off and the fawn's coat is a uniform reddish-brown. So they only have spots when they're new babies. This is a mama deer tracks, and this is a baby deer. All during summer, adult bucks live in small bands apart from the does and fawns. The does travel with their fawns, sometimes joining other does with fawns and forming a small herd. In every herd, one doe becomes dominant overall. That means she's the boss. You can spot the lead doe in a herd. She's always on the alert, listening, smelling the air, and watching for any signs of danger. When the lead doe senses danger, she signals the herd by snorting loudly and stomping one hoof upon the ground. If the danger is near, the whole herd of deer will bolt, all leaping away at once. The flashing white tail of a running doe serves as a flag for her fawns to follow. Once a doe reaches the cover of trees, she feels safe enough to stop and look back to see where her fawn are and whether danger has passed. Some favorite deer foods are grasses, clover, berries, apples, acorns, cedars, and browse. A deer's jaws and teeth are made for eating coarse vegetation. The bottom front teeth are sharp and point outward for nipping and pulling leaves and grasses. The large back teeth are made for mashing and grinding. Deer eat apples whole. They stick the whole apple in their mouth and eat it. See, there's an apple in there. Deer eat grasses, leaves, tender stems, soft green shoots, berries, nuts, and seeds. In winter, deer eat mostly browse, branch tips, small twigs, soft bark, and evergreen needles. This is a deer skull. A deer is most vulnerable to predators when it's out in the open foraging for food. To limit time in the open, deer gather food quickly with very little chewing. The unchewed food is stored in the deer's rumen, the first compartment of the deer's 4-part stomach. Later, the deer bring up wads of the stored food for chewing. These wads are called cuds. After each cud is chewed, it is re-swallowed and slowly digested as it passes through the remaining 3 compartments of the deer's stomach. That's kind of like a cow. A full-grown deer can quickly nip off and swallow up to 8 quarters of unchewed vegetation per feeding. When you see a deer chewing its cud, you know it feels secure and safe. Whoa, look at him running. With a top speed of 36 miles per hour, a mature deer can outrun any predator. A deer on the run can leap obstacles 8 feet high when closely pursued. Deer zig and zag and circle at full speed. But deer are not perfect. They trip and slip, they tumble and fall, they get stuck in deep snow and bogged down in mud. Many are caught and killed by predators. Humans, coyotes, wolves, and mountain lions hunt and eat deer. Domestic dogs sometimes run down deer. Severe winters, disease, and highway accidents all take a toll on the deer. With all the dangers they face, deer continue to thrive and multiply and have been adapted to suburban and some urban areas. Any little patch of field and wood can be home to deer. That's all. The end. I hope you learned a lot about deer. And I hope that you go back through this video and find your favorite picture out of this book and draw it and then color it. Okay, I love you. See you later.